This is Big John here in the kitchen again. Say hello to my cat Gray Bear, my cat Molly. She's going to probably throw a fit because I'm not letting her out anymore because we got random strays. And today we're going to be taking our Instapot Insta Vortex Plus, and we're going to try to make a carnivore friendly snack out of this chicken breast. And I also wanted to add this Parmesan cheese that I bought at Costco. So we're going to try this. If anybody comes in, you can chime in and hopefully give me a hand on how to make this the best way, because I'm not sure exactly, but we're definitely going to give it our best shot. And first I need to open this can of chicken and get it somewhat drained out. Get as much liquid out of it as possible. Man, these cans of chicken come with a lot of liquid. Get all that liquid out as much as I can get. All right, then we're going to add that into our handy dandy bowl we got ready. Now I'm only going to use one can for now because I'm not sure exactly how much stuff I want to put in here and see if this is going to work at all. Because what I want to do is I want to make basically almost like a kind of a Cheez-It chicken type snack. And I'm gonna need a fork for this. Are you kidding me? Get out of here. Oh. Apparently my cat wants some too. So like I said, I got the Insta Vortex Plus. It comes with these handy dandy little racks inside. I poorly cut some parchment paper to go in here. And I got 2 of these. We're just gonna give this a shot. Will you stop it? My cat's trying to eat this stuff. But right now, we're just gonna take the chicken. I'm gonna mash it all up the best I can. And yeah, this is where everything goes wrong in my kitchen, because whenever I try to do anything new, especially on a live stream, that's when I screw it up and I make a mistake. So that part of the entertainment value should be just fine for you guys. But yeah, we're just trying to mash this all up the best I can, shred it up. And then we're going to add some of this Parmesan Romano cheese and get that thoroughly mixed in. Now I thought about putting a little bit of egg in here, similar to a carnivore type pizza crust. And then I was going to lay it on here real flat, but I'm not sure if I need an egg for this. I just think I need to do, you know, one of these cans of chicken with a whole bunch of cheese, like a little more cheese than I would normally do. So I'm going to take like a fistful. We're going to do this, dump it in. And I think I actually want to have this a little cheese heavy. Oh, that's cheese. Whew, it smells so good. This cheese from Costco, whatever brand this is, it smells amazing. Now, cheese is supposed to have kind of a pungent smell, depending on what kind it is. So now we're going to mix all of this up and hopefully see what happens here. Like I said, I'm not sure if I want to put an egg in here or not. So the whole end result here, I want to have, hey, there you are. You were exactly the person I wanted to talk to, Sunshine, Alaska, because you, hey, you drove up to Anchorage yesterday and I missed you. I was out in Bird Creek for a party yesterday, and I was doing a lot of shopping here in town. I needed to get work-related stuff, which I can only do that on days off. So I had to take a special day off, because normally I would have been working yesterday. But anyways, yeah, I was trying to do your recipe. So I got the can of chicken in here. I put a ton of cheese in here. I might have put too much. If you think I put too much, just let me know. But what else did you put in here? Because I want to make kind of like a Cheez-It cracker in the air fryer, and I'm hoping for the best. And I was actually wanting to message with you about how you did yours, but I did look around online, some basic stuff, but there was really nothing out there showing me how to do this, as far as making kind of like a cracker, you know, with this chicken and cheese mixture. I did see somebody made like chicken cakes out of something similar. They added a little bit of egg, and then they made these like chicken cakes, and then they put them in a pan and they seared them that way, and that worked out pretty good. I did Italian seasoning and garlic and red bean salt. Okay, I have some of that stuff here. Well, actually, I have Redmond's garlic salt, so that covers that. What is going on over there? Okay, my cat is freaking out. So I got Redmond's salt. This is Redmond's garlic salt, by the way. We're going to use that. I like a lot of salt anyways, but always trying to find the right holes. You know, these little holes in here. So, all right, these are some of the bigger holes. But I think a snack like this deserves a lot of salt. If you're eating primarily meats and fats anyways, a lot of salt doesn't matter. Just make sure it's the good type of healthy salt, like Himalayan pink salt, Redmond sea salt, or Celtic salt. But we're doing a little bit of both here. We're trying to have garlic and salt at the same time. Like I said, this is Redmond's garlic salt. That's the whole point of this. And I think my salt is kind of hardened up in the container. That's the problem here. I gotta like beat it. Gotta beat the salt. There, that kind of loosened it up. Now we're gonna add a bunch of this Italian seasoning. And this is one that's not even opened yet. I haven't opened one. Somewhere. Here's another one. This is just great value Italian seasoning, nothing special. And I'm going to put a generous amount in here. We're just getting this all seasoned up and ready to go together. Hey, did you use egg? That's perfect. I added spices. I did Italian seasoning and garlic and Redmond salt. Okay, but did you add an egg? That was my next question. Because if you added an egg, I can still get to that point. No egg. Okay, you didn't use an egg. Okay, I think I got plenty of seasoning in here. I don't know. We'll find out. Now I'm going to get this all mixed up. Because there's actually a lot more cheese in here than I thought. I could have probably used half of that cheese, but I'm thinking a little bit more cheese might be a little bit better. Because when I lay this out on the pan, I want it to be really thin. That way when it melts the cheese, it'll turn into like a cracker. That's the plan, because I wanted to have like a carnivore crispy type chicken with a little bit of protein in there, type of snack. And so far this hasn't been a pain in the butt to start. It's not making a whole lot of mess. Here we go. I was going to do a video about this today, but I had to go return some work boots that I had, and they were causing me a lot of pain. And I spent like $250 on the work boots. So I called the company, which graciously, by the love of God, allowed me to return the boots. And they technically said they were defective because I felt like my right side boot felt really, really narrow, and my foot fell asleep in there. It was horribly painful on the bottom. So I traded those boots for a pair of, what do they call, extra tough boots. So I got some insulated extra tough boots for work. They got steel toe, a steel shank. So if I step on a nail, I'm less likely to get a puncture. And that's the whole point of them. I'm not sure how much I need to mix this because it's kind of dry. It feels like it needs an egg. Maybe I'm wrong. But okay, so if I just spread this out, it should work. Let's say you put them on parchment paper, then air fried. You turn them halfway. How did you turn them? They're gonna turn into like mush, right? So okay, I got my parchment paper laid out in the pans. Let's back you guys up. I can jack this up a little bit. There we go. Try to get some elevation on here. And tip and a little drop. There we go. So like I said, I got these racks that go in the InstaVortex 360. Poorly cut piece of parchment paper. And then now I guess we're just going to try to lay this on here the best we can and see what happens. So when you put it in the air fryer, how long did you put it in for? Because I see some of these basic recipes, they're talking like 6-7 minutes at 400 degrees. And I am just guessing. So, okay. This is kind of what it looks like. And we're going to try to get this as flat as possible. You know, I'm guessing the cheese is just going to kind of spread all out. And the chicken's going to help bind it together as well, along with the cheese. Okay, I might have just enough to do 2 racks of this. If this works out, okay. That looks almost like about half. We're going to try that. And this is a really dry mixture, by the way. So I'm not getting all goopy and gross. We're going to spread this out all the way to the edges because I want it as thin as possible. This is an experiment. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm just, hey, you be quiet over there. I'm doing stuffs. So we had a problem with stray cats in the neighborhood. We thought we were going to adopt one, but that cat decided it wanted to be a stray instead. They started hissing and like at all the kids and me, and I was just like, okay, if you go outside, you're staying out there. And that cat went outside and went back underneath the RV with its brothers and sisters. And I'm just going to leave it there and let it be, because that's another $300 to go get that cat fixed and neutered and get all the shots taken care of. Okay, so far so good. This is what we got. We got the first pan, thinly pressed out. This is just chicken and Parmesan Romano cheese that I bought at Costco. This is canned chicken, by the way, 1 can of canned chicken. And I found out that my cat Gray Bear likes this stuff. So that's a dangerous combination. So here's the other half of the mix. We're going to get this spread out on the parchment paper as well. And this should work. I mean, I don't see why this wouldn't work. This should work. I'm just trying to get it all. You know, I'm not one of those people that just likes to use half of everything. All right, now I'll just spread this out as thin as I can get it. And we're doing this caveman style, by the way, because I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm just praying that this works out. Because I bought this cheese last week. It's been sitting in the fridge, and especially just for this. I was thinking about doing a carnivore crust pizza, but I was like, man, I'm really not in the mood to make a carnivore crust pizza again, even though it's amazing. But this is very similar to how you make carnivore crust pizza. The only difference is I don't have an egg in here. So if I wanted to make a carnivore crust pizza crust, I would have just mixed all this up in the bowl, and I would have added an egg with all the same seasonings. So we have garlic salt and let's see, Italian seasoning. That's all we got going on here. So I'll get this spread all the way to the edges. I'm not being too fussy. And I was told, oh, let's see, I didn't see that cheese at Costco yesterday. Now this is what was at the did you go to the regular Costco or the business center? Because they both have different items. So this was at the business center over there in Tecotnu. So that's where I picked that up. But they sell out of stuff fast. And it's just so weird. You know how, because we also bought 70-30 hamburger meat at, I think my wife said it was 97 cents a pound. That's a great deal. But how long did you put this in there? You said I made individual blobs. Okay. Well, today we're going to do it kind of like a pizza crust, and then we will see how this works. Because if it all works out the way I'm hoping, I can just cook it up like this until it looks nice and golden brown, I'm guessing, and then I can actually just, when it's warm, I can kind of cut it with a pizza cutter and kind of make some chips out of it. That's what I'm hoping for. That's the thought process I have. And if you guys want to find out if I screw this up, just stick around and keep watching, because I have a lot of problems in the kitchen, especially when I do stuff like this. So
you're definitely making us interested from the other room.
Yeah, my wife's interested from the other room. I don't know why she's not in here. She could be in here too. It's not like she's not a YouTuber herself. Her and my son went out fishing this morning. They had really good luck. I went fishing yesterday, but those boots gave me problems, so I had to come home early, and I got out of there before the tide came up. And that way I wasn't stuck there in really, really horrible boots that hurt me a lot. So anyway, I got out of there. We're going to get my air fryer opened up. And then we're going to put these racks in there. I don't know if I want to have them up super close to the top. Now there is a front and a back to these racks. So I have the divoted part on this side. So we're going to start like this. See how this works. I'm going to put this one here. Get off my finger. I'm going to put that one there. And I have this rack backwards. Like I said, there's a front and a back. So this is the front of the rack. The other side's a lot thinner. So there's this little divot here. You can put your thumb in. And we're going to put this one up on the top. Now there is a middle rack too. We're going to toss that in. Get this air fryer set up for air fry. Now, this is the temperature I use for boiling eggs. I usually do it at 260 for 19 minutes. I just put like 10 or 15 eggs in the middle rack of this thing, and then I just run it for 19 minutes. And by the time it gets done, I put them in an ice bath, and boom, I have basically hard-boiled eggs in the air fryer. So I want temperature up all the way. We're going to go 400. Wasn't beeping a second ago. There we go, 400. I believe that's the max. And let's see, I just watched it. Maybe 7 minutes on each side. All right, so we're going to start off with 7 minutes for the time. Oh, come on. There we go. Got 7 minutes. Now that's done. These things are a little finicky. So there we go. We got it running. We're going to come back and check on it in 7 minutes and see how that works. Because, yeah, this sounds like fun. But I'm also going to keep the bowl, and I'm going to keep everything else out here in the meantime. Because just in case, clean up a few of these crumbs. And so far, this has not made a mess. I mean, it's really not messy at all. Because the chicken itself, I drained it real thoroughly. And the other ingredients are pretty much dry. I mean, Parmesan cheese, and just mixed it up in a chicken in a bowl. And then boom, you're done. A couple easy ingredients. Now, something I was thinking about was maybe after it's done cooking was adding a little bit more additional salt to it and seeing how that works out. It's kind of warm in here today. I'm starting to sweat. Let's see, I just watched it, maybe 7 minutes. Hello, what are you making? Well, I'm trying to make a carnivore type friendly cracker type snack in the InstaVortex 360. So basically what I took is a can of chicken you can buy at Walmart, just one single can, drained the water, added it in a mixing bowl, and then I added a very liberal amount of Parmesan Romano cheese. This is a dry cheese. It's got a nice stink to it. I really like it. And I also bought a bag of mozzarella cheese, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with that because I didn't want to make a carnivore crust pizza today because I really wasn't in the mood for a carnivore crust pizza. I was intrigued by the idea of these chicken cheese type crackers, if I could actually get it to make. Sort of like a nacho blend. All right. Also did one with Mexican cheese, chicken, and taco seasoning. That sounds all right. Now, I have had some problems with some of the random... Why are you crawling on the floor? I don't care if you're in the picture. It's like, it's all my face here. They would have seen like next to nothing. The kid's trying to sneak through. That's my son. But yeah, that sounds good too. So, okay, I don't know if you guys caught that video, but that weird little experiment I did, that's not something I'm going to do as a regular basis. I just really wanted to see if there was any facts too that I could reproduce for myself, because I'm just a real simple guy. You know, I live in a trailer home. I'm not sponsored by anybody here on YouTube. I'm just losing weight. I figured out a few little tricks and secrets to losing weight and staying healthy in the meantime, using the carnivore diet for weight loss maintenance and further weight loss, and it's working. But I was basically trying to see, you know, if the eat your protein before you eat a little bit of garbage was actually a real thing, if it would do something. And apparently it does. The order that you eat your protein to your crap food, or let's say if you were to eat, you know, a whole lot of protein like a steak and then have a potato, well, if you ate that in that specific order, the steak first, the potato next, it does do something inside you. I don't know what the scientific process is. I don't know the lingo, But yeah, like I said, I was testing it out last week and it worked. I was losing weight and I was still able to eat some type garbage food. I had some, Papa John's pizza, 4 slices. And I figured right away, because I've never been able to really lose weight while being able to eat pizza like that. 4 slices is a lot of pizza for the average person. Now, my previous self, when I was super huge and 400 pounds, I could easily eat 12 slices of pizza all by myself, no problem. And then I would go back a couple hours later, and then I would eat more pizza, and then so on goes the weight gain. That's how I got epically huge in the first place. And pizza was just one part of the problem. Poor education was another part of the problem. I didn't know how to read or understand ingredients at that time. I just thought I did. Like a lot of us, we just thought we knew stuff, and we thought the only way to lose weight was eat a salad or get a gym membership. And since I'm a truck driver, neither one of those sounds appetizing. So yeah, I just try to veer away off of that stuff. Let's see. Oh, I see some people add an egg to that mix you're making. Yeah, but we're trying to go specifically for a cracker. So I'm wanting this to like almost completely dry out. Now I can recreate this again real easily because I have one more can of that chicken. If I wanted to do an egg, and so far this is only going to be what we're checking on the first time will be like a 7-minute process. I might have to switch the racks because they're two. One's up close to the element, the other one's down below. So I'll have to swap them out at some point. And in order to safely do that with this particular air fryer, I will need to get some. Okay, so that's the preheated part. That's the preheated alarm that's going off. It's saying add food. So I'll go back a little bit before the 7-minute timer's up and check it out. Because these people that were doing this other type air fryer stuff on TikTok and YouTube, we're talking about you can just toss it right in there, throughout the preheat process and just let that thing run for 6 or 7 minutes and then check on it. So hopefully I'll be safe there. But what I'm looking for is get that cheese thoroughly caramelized and then just bound with that chicken. And then hopefully that chicken will dry out a lot and then it'll turn into a nice crispy type chip. But like I said, this is a live stream. I've never tried this before, so that's the weird part. That's the fun part about doing this type of stuff, because you just never know what kind of mistakes is going to happen. I have totally wrecked other things I've tried to do while doing a live stream, like totally ruined some. Let's see, what was it? I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was chicken wings. I ruined something, and it was pretty disastrous. It wasn't very edible. I mean, I ate it, but it wasn't great. Yeah, it was just one of those things. Now I am all nervous because I can't go check the. Can't go check what? Why can't you go check? But yeah, I can't wait to see how it smells. It smells so good. It really does. And it's only been in there for a few minutes. So it went through the preheating cycle and now it still says it's got about 6 minutes left to go. Yeah, it smells good in here. I'm really looking forward to it. Can't check the chips. Oh, gotcha. But if you guys are in the stream here, you can see Sunshine Alaska. This was the person that came up with this chip idea. They said they did it. They had some pretty good success with it. They liked the product. They did it a little bit differently than how I'm doing it. They said they put it in, basically in different like globs, I guess, and which is fine. But I wanted to, since I have that particular style of rack in the InstaVortex, I wanted to get that parchment paper laid out and get everything nice and flat all the way across and see how that works. Now, my son was nice enough to go out and buy a handy dandy brand new pizza slicer cutter. So that might be a tool that I might be using here in just a second to see if that works. Then you want to do you want to actually make the individual chips while it's still a little bit warm, and then you let everything cool down, and then it should harden up real nice and have a nice crunch to it if I'm lucky. But yeah, let's see if this works. I really hope so. But I do need to get some tongs out, and I think they're in here. Okay. I got some rubber coated tongs that will help me manipulate the racks when they come out. I also have plenty of oven mitts hanging around. You can get in here, and I have a light. That's the nice thing about this air fryer is it has a door. It has a door, and then I can turn this light on. I can see what's going on in there, even though you can't see exactly clearly right now, but everything looks pretty good. Now that Parmesan Romano cheese is a hard cheese, so it's going to take a while for it to get hot enough to actually start melting down. And if I have to, I have a softer cheese I can actually add to it and let that kind of caramelize on the top if I need to. That's like an emergency option. So we're going to see. You might have to slice them to turn them. I used a small spatula. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking if this all works out correctly, I don't have to turn them, but we'll see. Like I said, I could screw this up a million different ways, and that's part of the fun of just the ridiculous stuff that I do around here in this Alaskan kitchen. It just happens. You know, sometimes I've made some stuff that really turns out good, and every time that I've made stuff that turns out fabulous, fantastic, amazing, like holy cow, I wish I had a camera rolling because that was good and it turned out perfect. That was the problem. I didn't have a camera rolling. I wasn't doing a live stream. I was just making random stuff. And that was part of the problem of how I got morbidly obese in the first place, is because I was sitting here throughout the pandemic completely bored off my gourd. I was just making stuff, you know, making food, typically not good food. Okay, it's at the 3-minute mark and it's wanting me to rotate the food. We're just going to let it run until the final timer goes off, and then we're going to swap racks. And then we're going to probably put it in for another 7 minutes and see how that goes, and see if everything browns on top real nicely and it becomes something like a cracker. That's the goal here, is to try to have something like a cracker. I would probably wait until they are crunchy to turn them. Yeah, the thought process here is to try to wait. Actually, I want to try not turning them and see how that works out, because I think I can get a pretty reliable product without having to flip them over. They're going to be, you know, toasty on top, not toasty on the bottom, which is kind of similar to how they make chips in a factory. They have it running through a little conveyor belt, and they basically cook it from the top down for the most part. The whole oven itself actually heats all the way around it, but everything's running across the little platform, like how they make Cheez-Its, for instance, in the factory. And it gets a pretty consistent product. Now the top is usually always toastier than the bottom because it's cooking from the top down in those ovens. Now I'm hungry. We eat 2 meals a day, so it's been several hours. We just went out to Kava's Pancake House, Sunshine. If you've never been to Kava's Pancake House, please come up here on your next visit and take a trip over there. They're right there on Muldoon, just pretty close to Cotonou, just on the other side of the bridge. It doesn't look very nice on the outside. I mean, it's not like super welcoming because they're attached to a little strip mall. But I went in there the first time last weekend with the wife. We had a great time. The restaurant's beautiful. The people are awesome. And we just took the entire family out, about $100 worth of food. The meal that I got was this amazing breakfast burrito. Now the breakfast burrito they have is like this. It's like this big. It comes full of eggs. It's come full of bacon, sausage. It comes with a side of what is it? I'll get back to that. We'll talk about that in just a second. But we need to get over here and see what's going on. See how we're going to do this. Okay, that's the end of that cycle. All right, we're going to pull you out. See what that looks. So far, so good. I am not disappointed with that. Now this is the one up here closest to the element. Okay, that one's much darker. We're going to put you down here. We're going to get this one. You want to get that look on this one. And then I want that one to dry up a little bit more. I'm going to run that one more time. Let's see here. Come on, do your thing. You don't need to preheat. What are you doing? I basically just restarted the cycle, I hope. Better not be doing the whole preheat cycle thing. I don't know. I haven't really played with this very much since we bought it. Now, we bought it originally for when I was eating crap garbage food. And I wanted to make burritos, like gas station burritos at home. I wanted that deep fried taste, just not deep fried. That's kind of what I was getting at right there. Water. I need water. Okay. I love the water here in Alaska. It's so good. As long as you're not drinking city water, the water here is just so much better than a lot of other places I've lived around the country. It's just the water in Missouri was poison. That water was messing up my teeth. Let's see, Ashley. Hey, I am trying to make a carnivore, like a chip kind of snack. It's made out of basically like the canned chicken you would buy at Walmart, like one full can. I drained all the juice out, added it to a mixing bowl about this size, and I added a lot of this cheese to hopefully make kind of like a carnivore chicken, high protein type chicken snack. The ingredients I added were a liberal amount of Italian seasoning, again, great value from Walmart. And then I was recommended by Sunshine Alaska here to use garlic and salt. So I use Redmond's garlic salt as the alternative, so that way I don't have to do, got both in there. So yeah, I used a pretty decent amount of that. I did not measure anything. The only thing that was technically measured was the 1 can of chicken. I put it in the bowl, mashed up the chicken real fine, and then I added about a fistful of that Parmesan Romano cheese on top, mixed it thoroughly. On top of parchment paper, I put it in those little sheets, and I flattened it out. Let's see. All right, it was doing a preheating thing. Like I said, I haven't had a whole lot of time to mess around with that air fryer to see out the particulars. But basically all I did was I just flipped the racks around, and I'm just letting it run for another cycle to try to brown the rack that was on the bottom. So yeah, the canned chicken I use, it's also great value, I believe. And it worked great for a carnivore crust pizza. And I had some left over, and I was thinking about making another carnivore crust pizza, but I didn't want to. So, but if this turns out, or I want to change this up a little bit, I have another can here of this stuff here. All the way out. There we go. Great value chicken. And it'd be the same process. Just pop this can open and drain off as much juice as humanly possible, and then just toss it right in there in your mixing bowl here. Just mix it up, then add some cheese. Now this is a dry mixture, so there's no wet ingredients. Now if I was making a carnivore crust pizza, or I wanted to try the experiment of doing this but with a little egg, I would just simply add an egg to the same mixture and then go from there. But this whole recipe here was just all dry ingredients. It didn't require any eggs whatsoever. Parmesan Romano cheese is a dry cheese, so it takes a lot of heat to toast it up and melt it down. So like I said, we're just doing an experiment to see if this works, just to make a interesting, tight, healthy snack. Because that was one thing I did notice when I did last week's food experiment, where I was eating a giant protein bowl, and then I was eating a couple bags of those pop chips afterwards every night, is that I did kind of miss the crunch of a traditional potato chip. I didn't miss the way potato chips or Doritos made me feel afterwards, but those little pop chips, they did not really seem to wreck the plan for me. And they also didn't seem to create any inflammation whatsoever. I wasn't experiencing any stomach type issues. That was all good. So, I mean, it is a viable snack, you know, if you should want to snack on that, even on the carnivore diet. Because I don't preach 100% carnivore on my channel. I preach that I do basically a meat-based diet, 90-10 eating principle of 90% meats and fats, 10% I love my life. So that could take me off the rails to, you know, eat, you know, a somewhat healthy snack, you know, like those pop chips. They're not super healthy, but they're also not super unhealthy. I think the worst ingredient in those pop chips is, of course, I think the corn and sunflower oil. And that sunflower oil didn't seem to affect me a whole lot, and I thought it would. I thought it would have, because soybean oil really screws me up. If I get soybean oil, my feet start to swell. I start to feel arthritis again in my joints, and that's just not an option. for something I want to add back in. Now, I have found that like soy sauce really doesn't affect me the same way that soybean oil does. I'm not sure why that doesn't happen that way. But when I go out and I eat like Mongolian type food that I have fried up, they use some soy sauce, they use some other various vegetable oil type sauces in there, and nothing at this one particular restaurant messes me up. But when I go to another restaurant here in town, which is similar, you know, I got all screwed up from that one. And it was similar food, also Mongolian style, all the way across town, but they were two different restaurants. So there's at least one restaurant I can enjoy and know that their products aren't going to mess me up. But that's the fun part about exploring when you get out. You know, after you've moved all of the crap food for a long time, you start to go out and you experiment with places out to eat. Golden Corral, I had pretty good success at Golden Corral. If you go there, I think it's after 3 o'clock, they have like all you can eat steak every night of the week. They typically have burgers and every night of the week too. So I can get burgers there. I can get steak, as much steak as I want. It's not that bad. The quality isn't too bad. Now you can ask for the nice fatty pieces, which a lot of people don't like, so they don't mind serving you that. We're gonna get back over and check on this. I really mixed mine for a while in a bowl with a fork to break down the chicken as well. I grated my Parmesan Romano cheese. It was very dry. Yeah, about the same as what I got going on there. So hopefully we'll see what happens now, because I think it's asking me to flip the racks. And I want to see, all right, get the light turned on, see what we got going on the bottom. The top looks very nice. Okay. Ooh, you guys are looking right at me. You're supposed to be looking there. There we go. You can see the bottom there. It looks really nice. The top is looking good. You can see the cheese is all melted in there. I kind of want to let it go a little bit longer to finish the cycle. Take a look at the bottom. That looks nice and dried out there. Okay. I'm getting excited. We're going to pop that in. It's going to auto start. It's going to just finish the cycle. 2 more minutes. Then we're going to pull it out, and hopefully we'll be done with that. Okay, I got my handy dandy pizza slicer. And what we're going to do is we're going to get so my son made this cutting board in high school. It's beautiful. I love it. I had to treat it a couple times. I'm just going to set it here, because when those come out, I'm just going to lay them out on the cutting board. I'm probably going to go back over to the table here in just a minute. Let them cool off just a little bit. And then I'm going to try to use that pizza slicer to hopefully get, make these nice little square crackers and see how that works out. Now, these might be good crackers to have with sour cream. Sour cream is also a great carnivore type option. It's animal product, and it's good for you. I mean, sour cream works out really well on this diet. I had sour cream this morning when I had that breakfast burrito. Oh, the breakfast burrito. Yes. The breakfast burrito at Kava's Pancake House is the size of your stomach. I mean, it's like this. It's like this big. I got big hands, guys. It's a big burrito. It was very, very good. Breakfast burritos have always been something I have craved. I had a bad habit of ordering too many breakfast burritos at McDonald's. McDonald's products and their breakfast burritos are not good. So that was a bad idea. There are other healthier breakfast burrito options, especially here in Anchorage. We got like Burrito King, we got Burrito Heaven. Another place is this little place down by Post Road. That's another great place for a breakfast burrito. They use all good products, all good sausage and bacon. Everything's clean. Even the tortillas are better shape over there. Kava's Pancake House is another great one. And that one was amazing. I had like chili verde sauce, a little cheese around the top and the sides. They seemed like they cared about their customers. They cared about their ingredients they used. Let's see what I can do here. I apologize. My kitchen's a little messy, but it's always a little messy because we kind of live here. It's okay though. Get you guys set up over here. And the apple, face that down and don't get seasick. All right. Gonna have to chill out there until I can kind of handle this stuff. All right, so that is the bottom layer. Take a look. The top layer looks pretty boss too. Okay. That's not bad. I'm really not upset. Okay. Texture's not bad. I think when this has a chance to sit a little bit, it will dry out to make it usable. Now, Sunshine Alaska said they were flipping this over with the way they did it. Now, this paper is not hot, by the way. Not at all. Okay, that's nice and that looks good. Toss that back in there. But I don't know. I think I could flip this if I wanted to, because it does not stick. It's hot. It does not stick at all. Crazy, weird. So I think if I wanted to flip this, it would have been safer if I had like more parchment paper laid out, ready to go. I could flip it, and then I could probably theoretically toast the other side. But I'm really not going to worry about it as part of this experiment right here, because so far so good. Get you guys over to the table. Get my handy dandy slicer tool, and then we're going to go from there. I mean, this looks great. I can't really complain. So I'm not sure. So yeah, like I said, if I wanted to flip this over, I could probably flip these over on top of themselves and manipulate it back onto the paper. All right, let's see what I can do here. We're going to move this one off. We're going to take this one and we're just going to flip it over onto the cutting board. Da, 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 and let the magic happen. Okay, I see what they were talking about now. This side looks totally different, by the way. Okay, what I can do, see, like this is a whole slab. I can pick that right back up, just like that. I can reinstall it back in, and I can have this side toasted just a little bit longer. What do you guys think about that? I can do a few more minutes on this side. I can do the same thing with this one over here. Push that one over there. Got this one, just like that. You saw how easy that came off of there? That was amazing. Like, watch this. Okay, we're gonna flip it over. Now, I didn't do anything special to this parchment paper. I just flipped it over like that, and boom. And again, it just picks right up. Okay, that's what we're gonna try. I'm gonna go back over. We're gonna get the racks. We're gonna set them back in. We're gonna put them right back in. Check that out. Okay, so let's go. Let's go. What do you think of that? I'm kind of excited, because I would like to have both sides toasted like that. Now I'm thinking about it. Ooh. Okay, I need to be careful, because that air fryer is really hot still. Okay. So far, both of these have been in there for a little over 14 minutes in the air fryer, 2 different cycles of at least 7 minutes, plus the preheat cycle. I'm gonna pop this one down. This is not hot. Set it right back in there. I'm gonna put you on the bottom. Come here. Hi, kitty. You're not helping my mental state when you're just crying like that. And we're gonna take this one, pop it in there. That is hot. Don't touch those. That was really hot. Okay. Pop back in there. We're gonna hit air fry, start. Still on 400. We're gonna let that go. And hopefully it's going to improve the other side and dry that side out a little bit more, because the other side was a little kind of, I don't know, what do you want to call that? Not like wet or damp, but it did have a little substance to it. I found some little crunchies that fell off. Okay. Definitely taste the garlic salt, taste the Italian seasoning. That's all just these little specks that fell on this table.
Skinny, but I'm losing weight just like I did last year. I was skinnier right there.
Definitely had plenty of seasoning. Definitely had plenty of seasoning on there. What did you say there, Danny? And he said, wear gloves. No, dude, I'm in my own kitchen. I'm not making this for like restaurant type food. So no, I'm not gonna wear gloves. I have gloves, but I don't need to wear gloves when I'm at my house. 30 chips are pretty good, but expensive. My favorite are churro strips. Have you tried making carnivore ice cream? No, I have not. I have not. There's been a lot of stuff that I wanted to do on this YouTube channel, but since my work is pretty much 12 to 14 hours a day right now, 6 days a week, I have a very limited time to do anything anymore. So Saturday and Sunday, Saturday I'm usually working now, for 12 or 14 hours. I had to take this Saturday off just to buy gear because we have an upcoming job that might take me out of town. So I wanted to make sure I had everything I could possibly need, if I was to head out of town. An extra jacket, rain hood, could be, cold weather type situation because I could be going to Fairbanks for quite a while. Yeah, I didn't want them like super moist sunshine, so I wanted to dry them out a little bit on the far side and see how that works. It might also make it a little bit better, but I think you had a good idea there. We're going to try that. Hope that works. But no, there was so Chris Cook's in Nashville. I've been able to talk to him on many different occasions. He does respond to me when I talk to him, and he's actually taken a lot of my crazy carnivore type ideas and just made them. Took him a while because he's busy. He's got stuff to do. He's got a YouTube channel that's taking him full time now. The guy's doing great. So Chris Cook's in Nashville. Definitely check his channel out. He's got a lot of carnivore type recipes, carnivore type ideas, and they've all done him well. Okay, it says that was just the preheating stage. I'm not going to sweat that one. So now when it says to switch the racks, we're going to go back over. We're going to switch these racks and hopefully get a more even bake on the other side. Let's see, with all your driving, have you ever been stuck in the snow overnight? I have been stuck in the snow many times overnight, but we prepare for that up here. I have a very, very elaborate to-go bag, and that's just a bag that I carry with me to work all the time because you never know what situation you're going to have. It's got various tools. It's got hand warmers. It's got a hat. I got a really, really super bright flashlight you could whack a barrel with a head with. I got a lot of stuff in there. You got nail clippers, a little bit of everything. It's kind of like a survival bag, even in case you were just here in town and you just got stuck away from the house. I carry about 1.5 gallons of water in that bag as well. I carry chewing gum, basic amenities and stuff like that to keep me comfortable if I'm stuck somewhere. Because you can get stuck somewhere here in Alaska, even in the summertime. And if the car breaks down on the side of the road, you might be there a while. So just having a nice to-go bag you can throw in the trunk, throw in your back seat, and typically it's what I take to work with me. It works out pretty well, and it's helped me out more than enough times. And then plus I have some random tools in the bag, so if I have just minor issues, I can just grab screwdrivers, maybe some pliers. I use the knives quite frequently. Sometimes I quit smoking, but I still have lighters in my bag. I carry lighters and matches, and yeah, fire comes in handy when you live in Alaska or anywhere for that matter. Jesus is the Christ. Absolutely. Thank you there, Mr. Robinson, 43. Let's see. But yeah, I've been stuck on the haul road in a blow, and when we say a blow, that means you just can't see. You can't find the road. The road's impossible to find. Sometimes the road's drifted over completely, and it's covering up the markers for the road. But most times you can make it through the majority of storms, even up north. But sometimes it's just blowing so hard you can't see anything. Moving at 3 miles an hour, as slow as the truck can possibly go, sometimes feels like you're doing 1,000 miles an hour because the snow is just everywhere. It's just whipping around. You can't see past the hood of the truck, and it can get pretty dangerous. Now, there was one time I found, this is quite interesting, by the way. We were in a blow at the bottom of Adigan Pass. Now, we had the graders were just ahead of us, but we lost them. We couldn't see them. They weren't very far away, but we couldn't see anything at all. So while I was sitting there, I just happened to grab my phone, my camera phone. I turned the camera on, and I was getting ready to just take a picture to show everybody at home. And then I found out I could see through the camera. I could see through all the white, and I could see the road good enough to make it up and around the corner and I could find the graders again that were helping clear the drifts so we could get up the mountain. So I radioed back, got my handheld radio, I radioed back and said, hey guys, if you got a camera phone, break it out. We can use these to see. They work kind of like night vision goggles in the snow sometimes. And guys, we were talking about like 3 miles an hour. We are in the lowest possible gear these trucks could go in, and we're just crawling through, crawling slow, slow, slow. You know, because the visibility was so bad. Speed is not your friend when you're driving blind through a blow. I mean, that's how people go off the road. They fall off cliffs. They run into the side of the mountain, which was right there. I mean, the mountain was right there. There was a cliff on this side. There was actually a cliff on that side too if you drove too far that way. But until you get up the corner, then the mountain's on the left. But yeah, we used our camera phones to drive through the blow. And everybody made it through safely. As soon as we got up around the corner and we started up into the hard pull, we got up just a little bit further, maybe about 100, 200 feet. We were completely clear up there. Crystal clear skies all the way up. The blow is down at the very bottom of the pass, just coming through this little valley and whipping across. I mean, it's just amazing. Ever been through Georgia? Yes, I've been all over the entire lower 48. I've been to every state in the lower 48. I did a lot of business in Georgia, did a lot of driving through Georgia. I used to deliver to the prison in Atlanta, Georgia. That was one of my favorite stops. I deliver all kinds of stuff there, groceries, bedding supplies, and yeah, they got quite a little factory going on in those prisons. Okay, let's see what we got. It smells good. Oops, darn it. Sorry, I'm new at this. Okay, it's telling me to switch. All right, let's see what we look like now. All right, we're going to take this bottom rack out. That one's not very toasted. The top one is browning up very nicely. So we're going to switch that. Now we're going to put this one up top to hopefully get a similar color to that one. Boom. All right, back in there. Ta-da, it should start automatically. So another 3 minutes, we're going to come back. We're going to place it right back on here. We're going to see what happens. Because I'm looking forward to this little treat. This is taking a little bit longer than I expected, by the way. So I started all this when I started the stream. We're 52 minutes in the stream. We have 11 likes on the stream. I appreciate everybody that drops us a like, possibly a subscription. You know, if this is stuff you're interested in, yeah, subscribe to the channel. I'm not gonna sit here and like, oh, please subscribe to my channel. That's not me. You know, if you find this interesting, you find anything I talk about interesting, carnivore diet, if you want to learn how to lose weight with little to no exercise, that's stuff that I talk about a lot on my channel. I come back every week and I talk about this on the weekends, and then I have an updated video of any weight loss I've had throughout the week. Last week I lost 4.4 pounds and I was eating some garbage in there. I wasn't eating like normal. I wasn't eating like perfect food. I mean, I guess if I were to eat like perfect food, I could have had somewhere closer to 7 or 14 pounds weight loss realistically. Now, if I was ever on The Biggest Loser, could you imagine that? I would have dominated that show, because throughout this weight loss journey, I have just been back to back, you know, making the numbers. But that's me figuring out stuff by myself. Now, I guess if I was on The Biggest Loser, I would have been, you know, brainwashed with a lot of the stuff that they were talking about on the show. That might have been a problem, because I was very impressionable when I first started losing weight and I first started learning how to make healthy choices, read ingredients, do stuff like a normal person should, and then not believing all the professionals was probably one of my biggest steps forward. And then coming out and talking about that, that's exactly how I got to where I'm at today. You know, 435 pounds down to 291 pounds in a little bit over a year is pretty miraculous. That's a lot of weight. That's like 140 something pounds in a little over a year. And not all of it was with the carnivore diet. A lot of fasting was added in there. Fasting works. I mean, I would highly recommend anybody start fasting. I am making a carnivore type cracker snack in the InstaVortex Plus air fryer. Right now it should be done. It should be done. I think we should start calling it done. I feel bad for the Biggest Loser folks. Doubt they maintained their losses after the show. There was quite a few of them that didn't. They came right back up. But The problem was with the show is they never fixed the root cause of the problem. They didn't fix what was going on up here. They filled their heads full of a bunch of information. They forced these guys to work out like boot camp. And then as soon as they got done with boot camp, health boot camp, they reverted right back to their traditional ways of life because they thought, well, I lost weight, I can do this now. Well, that's exactly opposite of what we should be doing. So anyhow, okay. That one we're going to call that good. I'm going to call that good. Come on, get off of there. I should probably make this more entertaining by flipping the lens around. So that way you can see exactly what I'm doing. So, all right, first off, we got this first one here. Looking pretty good. I'm not upset with any of this. I know my family is sitting in the other room like, what are you making? It smells good. Okay. Off. Fall off. Perfect. Look at that. I will never say I'm like a professional cooking channel because I fumble, I do weird stuff. Okay. Ta-da. That thing, this is an awesome little air fryer. I should probably start like putting an affiliate link in the bottom of these things for that particular air fryer because they still make it. It is still very viable. It's a great piece of equipment. It doesn't take up a lot of room. The only really annoying part of that air fryer is the beeping is so loud. It's like beep, beep, beep. But I guess, people need that. Okay. I'm feeling pretty good about this. We're going to flip you. There we go. Not bad. Now we're going to take that, put you to the side. And we're going to flip this one. Okay. So this is definitely hot. Mine's bad. I'm sorry. How about this? You can see down here a little bit. Okay. So now the plan was, while it was still a little bit warm, I was going to want to take this handy dandy little pizza slicer that my son bought. We're going to see if I can actually start making like chips out of these. Oh, so far so good. Look at that. This isn't a bad idea. Okay. That worked.
That was Rowan. Rowan was the smaller baby last year.
Okay. So now I'm making these little strips. And as this cools, I can let's try this piece here. I got an end piece. Oh, super crispy. Okay. I will change the seasonings a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of the Italian seasoning being in there, but I can definitely come up with something delicious out of this. But you can probably hear that. That's crunchy. Okay. This is not wasted. Now here's the fun part about this. If you guys own a dog and don't like this, the dog will love it. Okay. All right. Not upset. Sunshine Alaska, thank you for giving me this little bit of inspiration to try this. Okay, so now I have these little chips about this size. These are hard, they're crunchy. You can pack these in a little Ziploc bag, take them to work with you. I don't think most people would let this get much further than the cutting board because this does look fun and delicious. Now you can also try this same recipe using different types of cheeses as well. You don't have to use super dry cheese like Parmesan Romano. But if you can grade your own cheese, you're going to get a better, in my opinion, you're going to get a better product at the end. So that's nice. So that makes these little finger size. Oh. That was good. That was a good bite. Oh my goodness. The salt, the garlic salt. That, man, you guys gonna want to try this. Well, this one is really, really crunchy, turning into powder. So this is a little bit different texture than that one. This one has a little bit more softness, chew to it. This one's really dried out. This is also a little bit harder to cut. It's not going to be nearly as pretty as this one. I don't care. Still going to be edible. Okay. All right. So let's see here. How am I going to do this? I'm going to come up with an idea. Give me a second. My favorite little bowls. Okay. These still need to cool off a little bit. They're not hot to the touch. They are crispy. They are wonderful. Okay. My wife's in there making her videos, making a racket. Yum. These little crispies are quite delicious, actually. We're going to let the dog lick that off. And I'm going to have to come up with a better thumbnail for this live stream. So I actually have a kind of a finished product here. Okay. This is the puppy tax. There you go, puppy. And this, my friend, is what I'm left with. Not bad. This is not bad. It's definitely a quicker way of doing this, but this was my way of doing this as I fumbled through the kitchen and tried to find out an interesting way to make a somewhat healthy, interesting carnivore snack. Now, okay. Gonna have to call my wife in here and let her give one of these a try. See. Hey there, Joe Blow. Okay, ready?
What is it?
Delicious. Get over here. Gonna walk around the dog. Just take one, try it. Tell me what you think.
Ooh.
Yeah, kind of hits you. Kind of hits you in the flavor senses. Like,
You have to bite like 3 times before it's like, whoa.
Yeah, the spices get you. Now, there's some other ones that are a little drier. They're a little bit different kind of feeling to them.
What is this?
So, Redmond's real salt, Italian seasoning, 1 can of chicken, take the juice out, and this right here. That's it.
Yeah,
Put it in the air fryer. This is a good healthy snack, good healthy option.
I feel like the seasonings hit your palate right away, but like it took a few bites before I really tasted the cheese, and then it was just like an explosion.
Now the fun part about this is you don't have to use all the same ingredients that I did as far as the seasonings. You can change it up. I don't particularly prefer this being in there. I could probably remove this, add something different, like maybe cayenne pepper or a little bit of other type of paprika maybe. And then I'd still be using this here. This adds a lot of pack right there. A lot of the garlic flavor comes from this. A lot of the healthy salt comes from this. So that would be something I would definitely keep in there. But you could mix, match, and do whatever. It's not a messy recipe at all. The bowl's over here. This is all the mess it made right here. Was this stuff right here. The dog's cleaning up the cutting board. happy the dog can clean this up too here in a little bit. But again, guys, I hope this was fun and interesting for you. It's my lovely wife, Mylene. She's been out fishing. She's the one that brings the fish home primarily. Her and my son have been getting quite a few fish here. I think they got how many today?
3.
You got 3 today?
Yeah, I got 2 and Timmy got 1.
Very nice. Yeah, they caught 3 fish this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Right here in town, right here in downtown Anchorage. They just went outside, and about 15, 20 minutes away, there's a little creek that runs through. They can catch fish, and they catch fish, come home. Got food for the winter time. You know, that's what it's all about.
The hardest part about it all was going out without coffee.
Oh, yeah. But, okay, guys, I appreciate you for dropping in, checking this out. Like I said, this was a new experiment for me. I wanted to try something new. I will be tweaking this out a little bit. I might be making a full-length type video, which doesn't take an hour and 5 minutes. I can actually break this down. And
the crispier, the better. I like the crispy ones.
She likes the crispy ones. I like the ones that are a little less crispy. So you got a nice variation that goes on when you're using the InstaVortex Plus air fryer, because there's 2 levels of cooking, and then one's going to be a little bit moister than the other one. And I'm not upset. I'm not upset with this at all. So yeah, we'll definitely do this again. KetoVore. Okay, what's that about? I feel bad for the Biggest Loser folks out. They maintain their losses after show. All right, we did discuss that a little bit. But yeah, we're making a carnivore healthy snack. Chicken, cheese. That's about it. Some herbs and spices. Boom, done. Worked out way better than expected. This will probably be gone here in just a little bit.
Matt, you should mention it gives the satisfaction like you've had something deep fried, but it wasn't deep fried.
It does give the satisfaction of eating something deep fried. It gives you the satisfaction of eating some trash garbage food. But this is healthy food. This is not trash garbage food that's been deep fried or overly processed in some crazy factory somewhere. This will not create inflammation. This will not give you diabetes. This chances of getting cancer from foods like this are almost nothing. And if anything, you're reducing your risks of cancer and diabetes. Yeah, so great fun, easy snack. Oh, your wife said she needed a coffee. Yes, my wife always needs a coffee. This is fishing season, so she literally wakes up, chases the tide, and then she comes back, takes care of her fish. We do some stuff. She might take a nap, and then she's out on the next tide. So the next tide, I believe, is ready to come through about 8:30, 9 o'clock tonight, maybe 7-ish. So within that window there, she'll be back down at the creek, catching more fish, bringing home some more food for later on. That's what she does all summer long. She does have her own YouTube channel at Real Alaskan Fishing, and she posts her videos there the best she can. She's really good at short form content, and she's also on Facebook under the similar name, Real Alaskan Fishing. So, okay, check her out, and we will catch you guys in the next one.